What were you saying? You sound like a porn star?
You are a porn star.
Well,
What? I thought we knew each other so well.
no, I when I was first starting, I was very excited to record my first voicemail message as a real estate professional.
Uh-huh.
I thought I nailed it. And then I had a client said, hey, you need to change your voicemail message. I was like, why? Did I get something wrong? He's like, no, you sound like a relaxed porn star. I never changed it. I took it as a compliment.
Still the same one today.
I took it as a compliment.
I'm going to have to listen to that.
Yeah, we're going to call him. Let's call him right now and see if it rings. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Behind the Lockbox. I'm your host, Stephanie Zalowski, here with
Cameron Barbier.
Yes, he is. Today, we are super excited to be joined by a longtime friend. I think we met back in 2017 when we were with Sotheby's. I think we started around the same time, like in the industry.
Yeah, I think we were in the same apprentice group.
The days. But he's an agent with Douglas Elliman. He is hilarious. Fantastic to do deals with, even when he locks you out of your own escrow. But we can get into that a little bit later. He didn't believe me. It was great. It was a great story. I'll tell you about it. He's an amazing dad to an adorable 4-year-old little girl. Nick Feenberg, welcome to Behind the Lockbox.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, thank you for being here.
I feel like I'm on like a Vanderpump Rules kind of reading.
Every time that gets brought up.
Because like it's just the scandal of the year.
I need to
the scandal.
Scandal.
You haven't?
No, that's every time. You guys, yes, I'm like missing out.
Did you watch Secrets Revealed?
Of course.
It wasn't as
How could
juicy
I
as I
not?
thought it was going to be.
Yeah. Basically, if you were doing a shot game to any of those things, you'd be shit-faced.
You can say shit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You can say anything you want. Yeah.
Anything.
Anything.
Okay.
We might bleep you out, but anything.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Anyway. Well, okay. So I know you have stories because A, I just know you. But B, I'm pretty sure you were telling me something about, well, first we started with you sounding like a porn star, but I think you said something about marijuana in a house, which I surprisingly have not come across that yet.
How's that possible?
I don't know. We live in California.
It's California.
I know. I have no idea. Yeah.
Yeah. You're asking me what stories I should bring. And there's one I felt like sort of encapsulated so much of what we deal with as realtors. But in
Maybe what you deal with?
But in such a great way. So, I mean, I had this friend from high school, and he lived in OB, and he built his own house in an alley in OB.
He built his own house.
Yeah. It's not.
Hire a contractor.
No, he was the contractor.
Okay. All right.
And he also, his personal legend is that he was born with THC in his veins, which probably is true.
Given where this story is probably going to go.
So, I went over to check out the place.
Sure.
And it looked like a boat in an alley, but it was cool. It was an OB, a couple blocks from the beach.
Listen, we'll take any deal.
Yeah.
Not above it.
Not a problem.
Nope.
And it was sort of early pandemic time, so it was worth way more than...
Yeah.
Than it might be today.
Right. Yeah.
It's probably still worth a lot.
Yeah.
True. We have a housing shortage. I don't know if anyone knew about that, but yeah.
So after looking over his novel that he was writing about, government conspiracies and stuff like that.
Oh,
I love that stuff.
she does. Maybe you should have. Maybe she should be his agent.
He lives in Mexico now with the proceeds from
love
his
Mexico.
Yeah, it's great. And he's a really cool guy, great surfer, all this kind of stuff. Just
Too bad you're married. I feel like we found your maybe your second husband. Don't listen to this, Matt. Just kidding.
dude, I'll hook you up. Seriously.
I'm good. I'll go
He
to
just got out of jail, so everything should be fine.
This is getting better. Wait, I'm the single one. I'm the single one. Okay.
Steph, are you interested?
Maybe move to Mexico. Okay. Anyway, continue. Tell me more about my future husband.
So your future husband was also
a porn star.
So we agreed on a. Yes, he's a marijuana peddling porn star.
I love it.
It's California.
California, on brand.
So we agreed to a contract. He's like, look, I just got to tell my roommates.
Who are you roommates?
I'm
It's getting better.
48 years old. Yeah. And interestingly enough, they were partying at another listing I had, this huge mansion.
Him and his roommates?
No, just the roommates were like party girls at this. Okay. There was this big mansion from this guy who made a lot of money in tech and but was also a DJ and
Sure.
would have parties, and they would go party over there.
Okay.
And so there was a sort of synchronicity occurring
Between them.
Yeah.
Okay.
They were like, oh, you're the guy who was at the other house. And I'm like,
Yeah, that's me. Well, I'm the one.
that's neither here nor there. So we agree on a listing price, a bunch of people come through, and I'm like, okay, here's how it's going to work. You got to get yourself and all the roommates out. Please do not be here. That's just kind of like, they don't need to hear about.
That went in one ear and out.
They don't need to hear about the CIA at this point. They're just going, well.
You would have been the worst agent. You would have been like, guys, not only is he built this house like with his bare hands, but he's also writing a book. Would you like to hear more about it?
Yeah. So I opened the house up for an agent,
right.
And there's, I want to say 20 marijuana plants getting the west-facing sun.
Sure.
Yeah.
Is that what they need?
Something like that.
Okay.
I'm not a professional.
I thought they were under lights or something.
No, it's old school. He spent a lot of time in Hawaii. So.
Okay. So he's like,
Yeah. He's professional.
All right.
Okay. This is organic.
That means a lot.
It's non-GMO.
Grass fed.
And I was like, you know what? It's OB. It's the pandemic. It's a house for sale.
How does a boat? Where am I?
Just look like a boat.
Oh.
You.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah.
Try to keep up, Cam. Her mind's all the way on like porn stars.
Yeah.
I took some of that weed before.
Moving to Mexico.
Weed, non-GMO.
She's ready to go. She's like Googling the guy.
The beer for me.
She's like, I did. Next time I'll bring micheladas. I promise. I really shouldn't.
It's okay. We'll have you back, and then you can just talk with us the entire
I can
time.
tell some other stories.
Yes, please. So you get in there. So wait, you walk in the front door, and there's literally just weed plants getting the morning.
No. Well, you got to go up and around.
Because it's a boat. Okay.
Yeah. The church is across the street. So
getting a full view of the...
Where was I? Sorry, the Pacific was sinking.
Okay, don't drink it all. You were one drink. Remember, you were hungover the other day. So yeah. Okay.
Well, I usually am.
Yeah, same. I know.
Have you ever fallen asleep in an open house because you were hungover?
This literally came up on last week's episode. So...
So you have.
Well, it's not my fault. If you don't stage the house, I got to sit down.
Oh, it wasn't even staged?
No, and it was in Cielo.
Oh, wow.
Top of a mountain.
So it's peaceful.
What did you fall asleep on? The floor?
Yeah. Well, it was one of my first open houses, and I was really excited. It's a multi-million-dollar house.
Really excited that you fell asleep.
Well, I brought like cookies and
it was French white oak floors, okay? They were cushy. They were comfortable.
I was ready to do my best. And I didn't understand that it was overpriced and been on the market for 111 days and no one was going to come. So I
took a nap.
I sat down and was just listening to a podcast. And next thing I knew, it was 5 o'clock and it's time to go.
Who even knew if anyone came in?
You're like, that flew by.
I'm pretty sure no one did because all the cookies are still there.
Oh, sad.
Did you open the door?
Oh, I did. Yeah.
The door in front of, he had the breeze
because it was hot. It's hot out there.
All the cookies are melty. He's like,
I'm in there in like my Banana Republic suit, just sweating on the floor, cookie crumbs everywhere. I'm like, you want to buy the house? They're like, no. I'm like, okay. Cool.
Take a look around. It's cool.
Yeah.
Okay, wait. Okay. Back to the weed. Yes.
So it's not selling because it's a little too expensive, but it's been 10 days, which is an eternity in the pandemic.
Yeah.
So we do an open house and I'm like, dude, you got to move the weed plants. And he's like, I'm not going to. And I was like,
at least it was in OB.
Fair enough, right?
At least it was in OB.
Where do I burp?
You can burp here. Good job. That was so quiet.
Do you like that? I felt like my grandmother.
I feel like my grandmother. Well, at least it wasn't a sneeze.
What? Okay.
Cam, do you sneeze a lot?
When she sneezes, let me just tell you. Remember the little office that we used to have over here in the shores?
Yeah.
It had that little patio?
Yeah.
We were sitting out there eating lunch one day. You know how it's next to Brick and Bell?
Yeah.
Right? There's people outside, whatever. I'm eating my food. She lets us sneeze out so loud. I jumped and dropped my fork and I look at her and she's laughing hysterically. I look over. This guy at Brick and Bell had noise canceling headphones on like this and he does this. And he looks around like, what was that? And I was like, the guy with noise canceling headphones just heard you.
Have you ever been kicked out of a movie theater?
No, I don't think so.
I don't even remember the last time I went to a movie theater.
Oh, you got to
They're like $400 now.
Yeah, but sometimes you get the place to yourself. You can just sit there in the middle of the lot by yourself with a
It's
drink.
neat.
Okay, guys, I feel like
Okay.
people are going to think we smoked weed because we have yet to get through the weed
Okay.
story.
So let's finish up the weed story. I think there's a few more things.
All right, so
Okay.
we won't get rid of them for the open house. Like,
No,
he's
yeah,
like,
exactly.
they're staying put.
Right.
You really would get in trouble for that?
Well, I don't know. Someone could say something.
something.
It's
They
true.
saw
Something could happen. Who knows?
anything could happen.
Yeah.
But mostly there was a lot of feedback from the other agents as to the lighting. Like they needed to be in a different spot to catch the easterly.
They were like, this is not right. West
And
facing
I'm
sun
like,
is not it.
look, my seller is a professional. He knows what he's doing.
This is GMO.
If you
grass-fed.
put it in an offer and we accept it, you can put that in the contract.
The plan.
Move the plants to the correct location.
Okay, so let's move this along. So we enter escrow. I told him, please leave
I was gonna say
the
I
house.
was like, yeah, why?
During an inspection, I don't want you there because you built the house, so you're going to be walking around pointing shit out.
He's protecting his plant babies.
He's just invested in explaining the decor and the structural integrity
To the inspector,
to the inspector,
of course.
who notices that
is
there might have been some water damage, which he then
He
says
did not properly insulate.
it's not his fault. There was an ex-girlfriend who may or may not have been psychotic and ran the bath too long. It just gets messy.
No way.
There's a contentious request for repairs. The buyer himself is also attending all these things that, he could or could not be there if he didn't want to.
Right.
There's still marijuana on the west-facing staircase.
Staircase. I moved it to a staircase.
And, I'm just like, look, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to call her. You guys are going to agree on a price, and then you're going to sign it, and then we're going to just be done. I think that's the way real estate works.
Pretty close.
Hypothetically.
Yeah.
So I call her, and
The agent, you mean?
yeah, and I'm
Okay.
like, look, I'm like, does he still want this house? She's like, he wants it so bad. He's like ready to live this lifestyle. He sold his company. He's good to go.
He wants the weed baby plants. Like, yeah.
And I'm like, okay, how about X price? And she's like, done. And I'm like, sweet, right? He's my client.
Did it.
Literally 3 seconds later, he calls me. He's like, dude. Okay, I wrapped this up for us. And I'm like, excuse me? He's like, me and Brian, whatever, met. And we're sitting on the couch, we're smoking.
The buyer or the agent?
The seller and the buyer got together on the couch,
Oh my God.
smoked a joint, and figured out a price. And I was like, dude, I got you $50,000 more from her agent. And he's like, oh, bummer. The new
stuck out of
price
his mind.
is XXX and it has to end in 420. And I'm like, that was worth 50 grand. He's like, I guess it was.
Was his
If you
price
look in the-
lower than what you
It was
negotiated?
$50,000 less.
Which sucks for you because, I mean, that's not a big dent of the
I was
commission, but
busy then.
regardless.
And I was like, what's a few grand
50
between
grand.
friends? Who
Just-
cares?
Yeah. It's a good story.
Now, of course, I'm like, but if you look in the MLS, it ends in 420, which is, I guess, what both of them really wanted.
That's hysterical. And I can't believe that he got a hold of the buyer and they were like, literally.
Yeah, they were like, let's screw these agents and these inspectors. Like, you want this house, I want this house. Let's smoke a joint, figure it out.
That's
like,
some good weed.
I wonder if they're still friends.
no.
No, he lives in Mexico now.
Well, no, I mean, because he was in January 6th.
Wait, your client lives
Yeah.
at the Capitol?
He just went to go check it out. Like he had no political affiliation, but unfortunately there was like Fox News captured him walking through the halls of Congress. So he had to do some time.
Oh. He wasn't the guy with the big thing, right?
No, he was just there to experience, the winds of change.
So did he, do you know any of the details? Like, did he get, he wasn't the ones that like broke through, but like,
No, he was just cruising in once it went down.
chaos was
Yeah,
done.
he was just like, he's like, I'm going to take a look.
How much time did he do?
I don't know. I think he got in too many fights. So they some early release or something. Like they were like, dude, you don't
fights in
belong
jail.
here. You don't belong here. Just, you can get an early release and just be on probation. So I think he's
Wild. And how
actually
did you meet this guy again?
high school, actually.
No way.
Yeah.
Huh. La Jolla High?
Go Vikings.
Okay, wait.
Yeah.
Totally,
Segue.
kind of. I don't know how we segue that, honestly. But last time we talked, was there something about a haunted? house?
Yeah, it's
Haunted listing?
this one's sort of lower on the.
It's not as good as
It's not nearly as good.
the
but
marijuana growing January 6th goes to jail, lives in Mexico now, might be my future husband.
no, but
It's a story, though.
here's the thing: is this house wasn't selling, and
Where was it?
It was on top of Mount Soledad,
Okay, you don't have to say the address.
and it was not selling. And
Were you the listing agent?
yes,
Okay.
yeah, one of them, and there was this sort of back part of the house with these guest rooms, and people would walk through and it's lovely, and then they just wouldn't buy it, and this went on for months.
And no one said, no one really gave any feedback or anything like that.
I spent a lot of time in that house, sometimes late into the night, and I would always get but I don't believe in ghosts. I mean, I only saw one
Wait.
when I was younger.
Oh, well,
But
how do you not believe in it? I feel like you're here standing up.
yeah, that's what I want to talk about. I thought it wasn't selling because it was overpriced and people don't like the kitchen.
Which maybe that was part of it.
One time I was locking up and my wife was in the car and I was like, why don't you come in and actually look at this place I spent 8 months in.
Yeah. Career listing. We've had those.
And we go up and she's more, women are generally more intuitive.
For sure.
And so we walk up and we go down the hallway and she's like, what is that? And I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, what's in that room?
What?
And I was like, I knew it.
No.
And it's just this sad.
You
And
can just.
all the hairs, they still are right now. I'm like,
We're there.
and she's like, I'm out of here. And she runs out. And I'm like, wait, I still have to lock up. And I'm turning off all the lights. And I'm like, run.
The ghost's like, I'll turn them off for you.
And
I don't want to
but it was
shit home with you.
I was my hairs were standing up for I swear to God, an hour. And I was like, I knew it. I knew there was something up there.
Wow. So was this upstairs?
Mm-hmm.
And
She saw a figure.
No, she
felt
could
it.
feel this weird heavy.
Did anyone die in the property?
I don't think so, but I don't know.
How long was the house? When was it built? 40s or 50s?
80s. Or wait, I don't know.
Well,
I feel like it was here's what I think.
that's the thing. Tax records could say 80s, but really it was built in the 20s or 30s, and then the new effective build date. Yeah. Interesting.
Did you sell it?
Well, then a week later we painted the outside and it sold. So, but maybe it just wanted to be
the right thing,
recognized.
got rid of it.
It wanted to be recognized.
Maybe.
And
Oh, I
it was
believe in all
messed up
that stuff.
because and this gets weird, but triplets moved in to there, and I was like, oh, this is
How old were they?
kids. I'm like, this is gonna be bad. This is gonna be some Stephen King shit.
Did you say anything to anyone?
Oh no, God no. Kidding me?
Is that
I think it's haunted.
Is that a
but-
disclosure?
That's not haunted.
Is there a haunted house disclosure? I don't really know.
I don't know. I feel like
There's a death. I mean, obviously, if there's been a
death.
death. But
I
why
think
within
if you've
several years?
experienced stuff, then
I feel in New England, there's a haunted, in those really old,
there has to be.
foresty,
There has to
maybe haunted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, God. I would never. There.
You know how we have the meth one in California? This place used to
on the.
yeah, it's a meth disclosure.
Yes.
In New England, there's a ghost disclosure.
Speaking of meth, remember that house that.
Why do you point to me?
Remember that house you sent me that you were like, it was all burnt out from the inside in Claremont or Bay Park. Did you see this one? It sold
Oh, it did.
for over 7. Yeah.
A former meth house?
So there
It
were.
must have been.
I think the whole
Inventory is low.
we're at an all-time low. It was charred from the whole inside,
Huh.
and it did. I swear, didn't we look it up or didn't?
No, yeah. I sent it. Oh, I
I thought the description said something like,
thought there was a fire.
"Don't go
in
on
there.
property." Yeah, there was a fire due to meth lab or something. I don't remember. I think they had to disclose something like that. But I actually just saw somebody post about it on Instagram, and they were like, "Yeah, this house that's completely charred from the inside out, sold for, and it was listed at 6 something."
Yeah,
And I
it was
think
800,000.
no, it was listed in the 6s, remember, 5 or even 5s, because we were like, "Oh, too bad." But they were accepting cash only because I don't think you could even get a loan on it. But anyway, it sold. So speaking
Hey,
of meth,
I'm not surprised.
hey, anything in San Diego, will sell
Anything.
right now. anything. Yeah, it's wild. I can't believe that. So it sold, and you haven't heard anything about it since then.
No, nothing in the La Jolla Light about a triple murder and ghost. So my conscience is clear.
You don't have to worry about it then.
Mhm.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm all good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good Lord. Behind the Lockbox is sponsored by Property Showcase Group. Property Showcase Group has a team of creatives, directors, producers, editors, marketing specialists, and designers that work in tandem to tell and share stories of the built environment. Whether you're looking for full-service production or simply just need content creation, Property Showcase Group can help take your business to the next level. To learn more or to contact Property Showcase Group to schedule a consultation, you can find them at propertyshowcasegroup.com. That's spelled PROPERTYSHOWCASEGROUP.com. PropertyShowcaseGroup.com. We did a deal together last November.
We did it. Yeah.
We did.
Yeah.
And it went pretty smooth. I mean, unfortunately, both our buyers and sellers, like, it came to a head where we were like, this might fall apart.
Yeah.
This might fall apart.
Yeah.
But she loves it.
Good.
But the day that we went to go do, what inspection were we doing? Wasn't the home inspection?
Oh, yeah. In the key thing.
Oh, sewer. So there was like a key, you know, like a keyless entry, like what I have on my front door. And it's like not opening. It's like 8:30 in the morning. Like neither of us have really had coffee yet, or like, you know, and I'm already, you know, at
Probably
the property.
still hungover.
Probably.
Yeah.
After the one beer that we had, it was tragic. Yeah, exactly. So I call Nick and I'm like, dude, the door's not opening. He's like, try a little harder. The door is not opening. And he's like, press the code again. And I'm like sending him a video and he's like, shit. Okay. So he sends it to the seller like, I don't know. And I'm like, there's no lockbox. Like there's no key. So all of a sudden he was like, weren't you in line to get coffee, or you were going to get coffee or something? And he's like, let me just order my latte. I'll be up there in a minute. So here comes Nick with Busy Bee or whatever, like locksmith. And he's like, shit, I guess it really was locked. I'm like, yeah, it really was. Try a little harder. I don't know if that's really what you said, but I feel like that's
No, I was like, did you try this?
Yeah.
This? And I mean, if I'm going to drive the 7 minutes up there.
Yeah, better have tried everything.
Oh, I have an update for you on another property we did together
What?
in Oceanside.
Oh my God, am I having amnesia? What property was it?
It was,
Oh my God, yes.
I remember that.
so
I forgot we've done 2 deals together.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you do. You just have like amnesia. What's going on? Did they redo it?
they redid it and I went to see it. It's beautiful.
Oh my God, I want to go up there.
Wait, is this the one with like the basement?
No,
And
it
walk
was-
in, it's got that big.
No, this was.
It was the one with the heavy marble 1980s
Yeah.
Miami
It
Vice
was,
tubs.
Our clients did not. So the parents lived there, and the client, him and his wife and their kids moved up to the Bay Area, and the grandparents were getting older, so they needed to move them down to where they were.
It was very 80s out.
Oh my God.
Heavy marble.
And there was like different floors, and like we did a little bit of like, you know, we had our contractor come through, and he like did some countertops and just tried to like make it a little bit better. But
No, it didn't work. So they took everything out.
Good.
And they did it themselves because they're young and, you know.
And it's just
Strong.
the two.
Yeah, just the two. It was
The couple.
It was the pandemic and they had some
The
free time.
dancers, right?
Yeah, they had some free time.
They were so sweet. Yep.
But when you take a sledgehammer to an 80s tub and you put it in a dumpster, and then they come and get the dumpster, they charge you by the pound. 4 tons. 4 tons of 1980s vintage marble in pink, mauve,
Blue. There was
Blue.
blue.
gone.
Damn.
4 tons.
Wow.
Shit. There was like, and it was like there was like different bathrooms. Like one was like a pink, one was like
they're
blue. I think the tub
you remember the tubs.
was even
Like if there was ever like a war and you wanted a safe place to be,
the tub.
it was in one of those tubs.
It's true. It's really true. And someone really took the time to be like, yeah, this blue marble for a tub. Let's do it.
Oh, the tubs were different colors.
But they
Yes.
were, it's, I don't even know if you could Google that.
I wonder if we still have
This what
photos
you
for
just
it.
Google bad taste.
That shows up.
I mean, I think
And then you get the blue marble tub.
Yeah.
It's all that comes up right there.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's so funny. I totally forgot. Well, that's good. And
Yeah.
that backyard, everything was, I mean, that piece of property was sick.
yeah, it's going to be really nice.
Yeah. Are they going to do an ADU or anything on the back?
They're sort of wondering between a pool.
It's got room for all of it.
They
honestly.
they could, and I told them to put in a little like putting green,
Yeah.
wheat farm,
Organic.
grass-fed weed.
Yep.
Again, here,
West facing sun
west facing.
on a staircase.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
But really nice. I'll send you some pictures.
Please
Yeah.
do. That's
blue
so
tub.
funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'll send you pictures of the house.
Yes, I want to see. That's really
kept
cool.
up the blue tub and put it in the backyard or something.
There's one shower.
Could have been a
that's
bird bath.
Yeah, exactly.
Or we
Stop it.
That's actually where. Stop it. That's where all the weed plants go, in the blue tub. See, yeah, it's resourceful. You know, whatever. It's resourceful.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Highest levels of integrity and professionalism.
It's what we're here for.
Yeah.
I got you. Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Oh my God. Any other? So we've got ghosts. We've got weed. We've done 2 deals together where you like locked me out.
I didn't mean to. It just happened.
Try harder.
Okay, try harder.
Try harder.
You should
She's like,
make
"Do
a
you want
t-shirt.
coffee?" I already ordered. I'm like, "Just get up here."
Priorities.
No beer,
walking up
no
with his
coffee for
espresso.
us. What is this?
I'm gonna ask
you know-
you're gonna need to bring us beer next year, next week.
Yeah.
next year.
Next year.
Next year. We could do this next year.
I'll
too.
bring micheladas.
Okay, perfect.
No,
He shows up to our podcast.
I
next
think
time.
because
Hey guys.
because we started together.
Yes.
You'll always be part of that time in my life when I
that's
was
so
like,
true.
what in the hell am I doing?
I think we still ask each other that question every time we see each other.
But I remember the first time because we would go, back when it was our DEO, and you had to wear a suit. And I'd only worn suits at funerals and weddings, and they were ill-fitting. I mean,
Then your wife came along and she's like,
they're
"No,
baggy.
this is not for you."
Yeah, and I had a nice suit, and just no money or anything, but it didn't matter because I had a suit, and I was like a
100%.
middle-aged white dude from La Jolla. I'm like, God, the world's mine.
Filled with
It doesn't even matter if it was true or not, but the baristas start calling you sir.
and you're like,
I'm like, oh, okay.
I haven't even
God,
hit 40 yet, man. Or
I
wait,
know that version. I'm 48. I don't know this.
really?
48?
I don't know this version of the player right here sitting in front of me.
She's only
Did you guys have like
14.
scooters and iPods and stuff?
iPods?
Well, they
The non-electric ones, yes.
You still had to pedal, right?
Still have to work.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough. You're 48.
Yeah.
I knew you were older than me, but I didn't know damn, dude, we're like 9 years apart.
9?
I turned 40 next March.
Are you gonna go to like Mykonos or something?
Turks and how'd you know? Turks and Caicos.
Yeah, it's right on par with
It's on brand.
Yeah. Yeah. I was 38 and
The only reason I'm not doing Mykonos or somewhere in Italy hold on, my brother is going to die because he says I don't know geography and I just said Italy. What I meant was not somewhere in Greece or Italy. My brother is going to rake me over the coals for this one. Okay. The reason why I'm not doing that is because I wanted friends to come with me. And I felt like the Caribbean was a little closer, right? You guys want to go?
I mean, I'll go.
Okay.
I remember being,
Did you see that face twist my arm? I mean, I'll go.
when I was 38, I moved to China for a year.
You did?
That's a midlife crisis.
I feel like you
Right?
lived. You hadn't even hit 40 yet, and I feel like you lived.
Yeah. I negotiated an extra few months off from my teaching
we
position
record.
and traveled around Southeast Asia.
How was that?
Fantastic.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Now you have a kid. You could eventually.
It happens.
Yeah.
Not to all of us.
I don't think it's happening to me.
Yeah.
My niece was just born though a week and a half ago.
So you're feeling
Oh my God, I'm so in love with her.
you changed her diaper.
We'll put. I did actually. I changed one poopy diaper. Oh, I'm still in love. I mean, she's the cutest fucking thing I've ever seen in my life.
These poops aren't really, it's when they,
Oh,
They're not real.
this one went all the way up to. It was like 4 or 5
that's
days
nothing.
later, but she is perfection.
Okay.
I'm so in love with her. Yeah. My brother's doing the thing for me.
For
I don't
you.
have to grow up. Like he can actually get married, have
There you
kids,
go.
have a house. And I'm like, cool, I'm just going to podcast and like live my life, This is my midlife crisis.
It's a
Turning 40.
good one.
No, it is a good one,
It's
right?
so representative.
I'm not
of the
going to
era we live in.
Mykonos or Italy. I'm going to Turks and Caicos, though. Yeah.
Good for you. I mean,
Yeah.
you do live far from the beach, so I feel like it'll be a good change. For
Block and a half back is,
Yeah.
it's a walk. I mean,
It is, especially
I
without
sometimes
that
take a
latte.
scooter there, Yeah, I've got a latte.
electric or do you work for it?
No, I do now the electric ones. I can't be bothered to pedal my foot. You know what I mean? Please. Anyway, okay, we have a game that we want to play with
Oh,
you.
yay. Okay.
Okay, and so these are like rapid fire questions. So Cam is gonna ask you. There's 3 questions on here. Look at him sitting up straight.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ready?
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. What's the craziest or pettiest thing that's ever killed or almost killed one of your deals?
420.
No, a very expensive request for repair that was total BS, but felt was
Like how expensive are we talking?
Well, it was
100K?
No, there was no legitimate reason to charge for anything.
They just put everything that was on the inspection
There was
report.
a bag behind a drawer. There was a piece of tape on a screen door. These little things.
That was on the
And
request
so-
for repair. You're like,
Well,
got
they
it.
said drawer not functioning, and I was like, got it. Screen door to be replaced. I'm like, got it.
Tapes off, blue tape, by the way.
And that
Painter's tape.
that almost ruined the deal.
Wow.
Over eventually what would be like $1,000.
If that.
On a
That's crazy.
yeah, it's because
How expensive was the house?
It was like 1.2 million
Yeah, which is
for $1,000, and I was like, I just told my seller, I was like, listen, you're going to be in your more expensive house in your pool
Just say
on
Well,
a sunny day,
but
laughing
you
at
have to
them,
go.
and you're never going to think about $1,000 you gave these.
good job,
creeps.
Nick. Yeah.
And she was like, you're right.
See? So it makes a good agent. What's the next one?
what's the weirdest thing or situation you've ever walked in on?
In real estate or in life?
I want to hear both.
Yeah. Hit us with both.
Oh man.
Actually,
In life, I mentioned that move to China.
Yeah.
There was one morning.
I'm scared.
We'll have to do a different one for the backstory. But long story short, there was these foreign students from New Guinea who had been drinking all night, banging on the door and yelling at the Chinese doorman as a herd of water buffalo walked across the parking lot. And that
And
just
you were like, it's now burned in your memory.
I
You're
can't.
like,
Yeah, there's a
what is
ton of other
happening?
stuff, but that to me was like, God, I'm really living life.
water buffalo
Gosh.
in China.
Well, yeah,
38.
because
living my
I
best
was a semi-pro football coach
life. What?
in China, and so we were. Yeah,
I feel like I don't even know you.
I know. But in real estate, the weirdest situation I've ever walked in on. I don't know. It's really hard.
Nothing. Nothing.
Nothing like I've not
Same.
walked in on like
Someone doing it.
or a sex swing or.
I know people that have though. I haven't yet, surprisingly.
Yeah.
The only thing that's ever like really happened to me is like we talked about this on another episode was like walking in and there's a tenant sleeping and you're like, oh, okay, and he's like, come on in, and you're like, okay.
I once had people have done weird stuff. Like there's been renters that will stack stuff up, around the house that the inspector can't go in, or like smoke like 500 cigarettes and put them all out so that people are like, oh, it smells in here.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, and just trying to sabotage. I know. Anyway,
So this is going back to high school, but for my 18th birthday party, my dad stopped by my party, walked into my mom and dad's room and found two girls making out with a guy just like sitting there. My dad like lost it, and the guy on the bed was like, "Dude, you're ruining this for me," and he's like, "Get out of my room."
he's like, do you know how long I've been trying to get this to happen?
and he's like, "You're on my bed." Papa Scott's like, "Get out, get out."
Oh my god, that's wild. Something trouble.
That one. Jeez. All right. What's the third one?
If you could be anything other than a real estate agent, what would you be and why?
I'm excited to hear this. Anything.
I think I would be an actor because I realized how easy
I could see
it
that.
is. Well, it's just that it's a skill, like, because real estate is because what you're doing essentially is you're playing you're on a journey with these people for 30 days. And so you've got to sort of figure out
Sometimes
this
months.
Right. And so you've got to sort of adapt to them and figure out, like, you don't want to, you're not like misrepresenting, you're not like you're flubbing your lines.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you're trying to help them, put them in a position,
Yes.
right, where the best possible scenario is popping in their head.
It's true. That's true. It takes
And,
some skill to be a good.
yeah.
it does.
Plus, a lot of people say I look like Tony Stark.
You want to be Iron Man?
I do. I want to be Iron Man's. No, but that's too much work. I want to be a stunt double. Just work on the weekends.
Hey, you still got your 50s.
It's true. I've had friends.
You had
move-
30s,
I've
40s
had
for real
friends
estate,
move-
50s acting.
I had friends who were in real estate and moved to LA to become actors.
I mean, listen, I firmly believe you can do. It's never too late. So
I'm very.
I look forward to seeing you on an Iron Man movie as a stunt double in the next
That'd be
10
nice
years.
because then no one knows who you are. We're just like,
Exactly. Like you can still
paid
go get
all
your
the
latte.
makeup.
Yeah.
near micheladas.
And your micheladas.
Oh my God, Nick, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you
this
guys
was so
very
fun.
much.
This was so fun.
I
Thank you
appreciate
so
it.
much.
Next time, micheladas.
And now you have to check
Next
your beer.
time, yes.
Yeah.
Chug it on camera.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No, just kidding. You know,
That's a lot of pressure.
that's a lot of. It's okay. You don't have to do that. All right, guys.
Cameron, sneaky.
See you next week. Thanks for listening. Behind the Lockbox is produced and edited by Property Showcase Group. If you like this podcast, please share it with your friends. Don't forget to subscribe, rate, or review this podcast. Thanks for your support. See you next week.